Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei Afrika Outlook. Schön, dass Sie heute wieder mit dabei sind. Das Thema der heutigen Sendung lautet Back to the Roots, Black-Owned Skincare in Deutschland. Die Haut ist das größte Organ des menschlichen Körpers und sollte genau deswegen besonders gehegt und gepflegt werden. Doch die richtige Pflege steht nicht immer zur Verfügung oder ist vielleicht sogar in Vergessenheit geraten. Darüber und über andere interessante Themen spreche ich heute mit meinen Gästen, die aus Shea-Nüssen, die sie eigentlich erst vergessen hatten, nun Creme herstellen. Wie genau es dazu kam, das können sie uns gleich selber erzählen. Meine Gäste sind heute das Ehepaar Komlanvi. Jeannette Komlanvi wurde in Togo geboren, wuchs in Ghana auf und zog in jungen Jahren nach Deutschland. Nach ihrem Studium in Großbritannien kehrte sie nach Deutschland zurück, wo sie als Buchhalterin und Wirtschaftsprüferin für verschiedene Unternehmen arbeitete. 2021 gründete sie gemeinsam mit ihrem Mann, Professor Koudzo Komlanvi, Joavina Organics. Professor Koudzo Komlanvi ist Togolese und wuchs in New York auf. Nach seinem Studium lehrte er seit fast 20 Jahren in den USA und Deutschland an den Unis und Hochschulen. Als begeisterter Unternehmer hat Koudzo in der Vergangenheit kleine Unternehmen gegründet und ist auch als Unternehmensberater tätig. Thank you guys for coming here today. It's a pleasure having you. What does skincare mean to you and what do you associate with skincare?
Yes, thank you for having us again. Thank you to the team and everyone. The skincare means a whole lot to us because we realized that coming to Hamburg, Germany in the late 90s, we realized that the skincare products that were on the markets were not really exactly meant for a healthy skin. And any products that we used, they kind of had chemicals in it. It was all mixed with a whole lot of chemicals. And we then thought about, well, we just tried them, but it was not really useful to us. And then realized later on that there should be something better for our skin. And that's where we are today.
Yeah, I can just add on to what Jeannette said is the fact that when you move from one area to the other one, you know, the environment is different. The water that you washing yourself is different. So all of those come into play when it comes to your skin and how your skin will react to them. So we didn't know much, you know, because we were as young as I got to New York, for example. So it's just a matter of, you know, trials and errors, you know, because sometimes you use some of these products and then you have a reaction to them. So, you know, and then throughout months and years, then you figure that out. Probably it's not, you know, the best product for yourself. And then, you know, you have to figure out what to do with it. Yes.
Okay. Es ging gerade darum, was Hautpflege für meine Gäste, für Jeannette und Koudzo bedeutet. Und für sie bedeutet Hautpflege sehr, sehr viel. Jeannette hat eben erzählt, als sie in den 90ern nach Deutschland kam, dass es nicht viele Produkte gab, die ja, vielleicht auch für schwarze Haut gerade die Bedürfnisse erfüllte. Und Koudzo hat gerade erzählt, als er andere Hautpflege benutzt hat, die keinen natürlichen Ursprung hatte, dass die Haut irritiert war, dass man mit Problemen zu kämpfen hatte und dass Probleme sind, die man beispielsweise bei natürlichen Produkten nicht hat und natürliche Produkte sehr, sehr wichtig für die Hautgesundheit sind. You just said that you associate health and with skincare, that health is very important in skincare. Did that also have something to do with why you founded Joavina Organics?
Well, yes, it does has a whole lot to do with it because the reason why we found Joavina Organics is because our daughter was having a whole lot of skin issues. She really struggled with dry skin and a whole lot of skin diseases. And we went to the hospital with it. They gave us a whole lot of different products to use. And they were all kind of like try and error. It was not really working out for her. And we then had a lady, an elderly lady, who brought us back to the roots and told us that, well, you know shea butter. Shea butter is what we used for you while you were younger. Why don't you try it and use it for your daughter? So we tried it and realized that within a week, the skin was changing very rapidly. She got back her skin beautifully. And then the nurses even started asking us, how come your daughter's skin just changed so quick? And amazingly, they then started kind of being very excited about the cream, asking about it. Where is the cream from? What is it? How is it done? And how can they get it? So we then tried to get them a few more products from back home. We've been ordering a few for the team. And that's how it all started. Yeah, that's how it all started. So.
Genau, also Hautgesundheit hat für Sie auf jeden Fall, oder Hautgesundheit ist für Sie der Mitgrund, weshalb Joavina Organics gegründet wurde, denn Ihre Tochter hatte mit vielen Hautproblemen zu kämpfen. Sie war einige Zeit im Krankenhaus und die Dermatologen und so weiter und so fort haben Cremes empfohlen, die aber alle nicht funktioniert haben. Und ihnen wurde dann von einer bekannten Shea Butter vorgeschlagen, beziehungsweise nochmal in Erinnerung gerufen, so viel zum Thema Back to the Roots. Und diese haben sie dann an ihrer Tochter ausprobiert und die hat quasi wie ein Wunder gewirkt. Und das hat dann auch die Aufmerksamkeit der Krankenschwestern und der Krankenhausbelegschaft auf sich gerufen, die dann auch alle Shea Butter für andere Patienten wollten, die ähnliche Probleme hatten. Und so ist dann quasi über einen gewissen Zeitraum Joavina Organics entstanden. What is so special about shea butter? You already told us a little bit that it kind of worked like a miracle for your daughter, but what is the secret about it?
Well, I can say that shea butter, nowadays, getting a little back to New York City when I was there, at the beginning, the shea butter wasn't, that used a lot. But for the past 15 years, if I recall, shea butter has been used so much now. And then, as you can see in a lot of lotion now, you have shea butter in it. So this is already telling you that, something is there. All right, but we have benefits, so many benefits when it comes to shea butter. Like Jeannette just said it has this anti-inflammatory property. Where you have a cut, you can use it for it. You can use it. As a matter of fact, it's 11 degrees outside right now, and shea butter is supposed to be the butter for us to use, because it does help skin when it comes to cold. And at the same time, it does also help when it's, reduces sunburn. Okay, so that's another thing. But it also gives us a lot of vitamins. We have vitamin A, we have vitamin E, we have vitamin F, for example, that we get from it. So it fights also eczema. And a lot of times people use it, in the massages, centers and other places like that, even for cold. If you do have a cold, you can rub it, you can rub it, on your skin, and then definitely it will help you to heal very quickly. So there is so many benefits when it comes to shea butter. I don't think that we can even finish, naming them today.
Yeah, that's true, because normally most of them also use it as an oil just to cook. So some people eat shea butter. They cook, they fry, they do most of the things with it. And some big companies also use it as a machine oil. So
I didn't know that.
Yes, a lot of people use it. So the kind of like the waste of the oil, of the shea oil left, that's what they use for the machinery, so for machines.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
make a little recap. Genau, also das Besondere an Shea Butter ist, hat Koudzo eben erzählt, dass sie sehr, sehr viele Vitamine hat, Vitamin E zum Beispiel, Vitamin A, wenn ich mich richtig erinnere, und hat entzündungshemmende Eigenschaften, hilft bei Hautausschlägen und ist auch gerade im Winter ein richtiger Geheimtipp, da sie die Haut vor Kälte schützt und vor Feuchtigkeitsverlust und hilft auch bei Linderung für Sonnenbrand und ja, ist ein richtiges Skin-Superfood, wenn man so will. Und was ich noch ganz interessant fand, dass Shea Butter auch in der Industrie eingesetzt wird, für Maschinen, aber auch, das wusste ich beispielsweise auch nicht, im kulinarischen Bereich als Zutat. Und ja, und dass viele Firmen auch einfach ihre Cremes mit Shea Butter anreichern, weil sie eine sehr pflegende Eigenschaft hat. How did you come up with the idea of using shea butter? You said before that you've tried a lot of other products and you already hinted that another person recommended to you to use shea butter. But you told me when we talked to each other, it was kind of funny, to be honest, that your brother said, "Why didn't you come up with shea butter earlier?" Maybe you can tell us this little anecdote.
Well, it's because, one of my brothers was a medical doctor, actually, in France, so we were talking about, like taking care of my daughter when it comes to her skin and other things like that. So, and then, one time we were talking, and then he said, well, actually, you should have used shea butter for her, when it comes to the skin. And I said, I mean, come on, how did you tell me this for like so long? So, and then we've been trying so many different things, and, because we have some of these products that we got from Kenya, from the doctors. But it just takes too much time before it heals, comparing to shea butter. So that's something that my brother and I, we have to settle, later on.
So you initially forgot about shea butter, right? Because during your childhood, it was more common to use it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's so true. During our childhood, shea butter was all over the house. So the whole full house was shea butter was in every corner, and we never really valued it. There was no value to it because it was there, and we didn't like the smell. And anytime anybody brings a cream that has all these kind of perfumes and all that, we rather switch and use that instead of shea butter, not knowing what it really does. And it was just really amazing coming here to Europe and reading about it and then knowing what exactly it does. And I'm like, wow, what we really had back home was very expensive, was very rich product. And giving it away to use kind of chemical creams or using all this mixture with a whole lot of perfumes and all that. So it was, it made me really think about those days, because I remember my mom would really push me and rub me all over with shea butter with a whole shiny face, a shiny head, shiny hands. So the whole full body will be shining. I'm like, Mom, but I really don't want to shine. And well, today I know how rich shea butter is and how important it is actually for the skin.
And how nourishing.
And how nourishing it is for the skin also. Yes. So I really appreciate the lady that told me and brought me back to the roots, telling me to use shea butter. I'm very grateful. Yeah.
Beautiful story, kind of like, actually going back to the roots and to what you know. Genau, es ging gerade darum, ja, wie es dazu kam oder warum Shea Butter quasi vergessen wurde. Und Jeannette hat erzählt, dass Shea Butter während ihrer Kindheit eigentlich immer benutzt wurde, sie aber den Geruch nicht mochte und auch nicht mochte, wie die Haut davon geschienen hat, geglänzt hat und das einfach nicht wollte. Und als sie dann weggezogen ist, so die Shea Butter auch mehr und mehr in Vergessenheit geraten ist, bis sie dann wieder irgendwann sehr, sehr dringend gebraucht wurde und dann auch geholfen hat. Und ja, dass sie quasi in den letzten Jahren zurück zu den Wurzeln gegangen ist und Shea Butter wiederentdeckt hat. Oder Koudzo und Jeannette haben Shea Butter für sich und ihr Unternehmen wiederentdeckt. I felt like you wanted to add something, and I interrupted you.
No, I mean, no. I just wanted to say that going just quick back to the anecdote of my brother is that because they use shea butter in the hospitals, so I just wanted to add that.
In England, right?
In France.
In France,
yes.
Okay.
So in France, it's widely used in hospitals. So that's something. Those are one of the reasons why we decided, and then we said this is one product that we really have to get people to be acknowledged about, and then to use. To use, because when comparing when I was in New York to Hamburg, for example, in New York they're using it more, I think, than Hamburg. So it's for us who are here now. So we said we also have to bring this product, the acknowledgement of it, and then for people to be able to use it. And that's what Joavina Organics is trying to push for.
Great. Koudzo hat gerade noch mal eingeworfen, dass Shea Butter zum Beispiel in Frankreich gerade an den Krankenhäusern viel, viel gängiger ist als in Deutschland. Und genau, weshalb sein Bruder es sehr lustig fand, dass er da nicht drauf gekommen ist, weil es dort ganz normal ist und gängig ist. And when you used or started using the shea butter on your daughter and it gained popularity in the hospital, did you immediately thought about, okay, let's make a business out of it, or how was it?
Not really, but the idea came up after the nurses. I mean, we had a few more nurses ordering, and then it got more than we thought about. And we then came home. We went to the rehab with our daughter, and then we have another nurses who were asking of it. And then we came home after rehab, and we had the nurses also who were taking care of our daughter. They were also asking of it, and most of them were from the Philippines, I guess. And they just started buying it, and we realized that they've been sending it back home, back to their country, to the Philippines.
Oh, that's funny,
and,
actually.
Yes.
Okay.
And then one lady told me, oh, there are many people appreciating your product in Philippines. Can we get more? And I'm like, are you trying to open another business in Philippines, maybe?
Who knows?
Well, who knows? Exactly, who knows? And that's where we really thought, okay, why not coming up and registering this as a business? Because we can't continue doing this and getting it for them. Let's make it happen and use our daughter's experience also to put it on it too, because what really made them trust and believe in the product was that while using it for our daughter, she had a whole kind of, she had dry skin kind of, and neurodermitis,
yeah.
Exactly. She was struggling with it the whole time, and they were, we were not using it for her. And they came up with the idea and asking us, so, but you said shea butter is good for this whole kind of skin issues. Why don't you just try shea butter on her? And we thought like, well, the skin doctor gave us another product to use. We've been using it for 2 weeks now. It's going away slowly. It's helping a little bit, but not really as we wanted. And she said, oh, let's go on. Let's just try it. And she tried it on her skin. And within 2-3 days, it disappeared completely.
Yes. That's
and
crazy.
I was like, yes.
Yes.
And that's where they didn't really realize, wow, this is amazing. They just got their whole friends and family members buying more. And I was like, wow, this is amazing.
It actually
is amazing,
It is really amazing. Just to add on to what Jeannette said, is also later on with a lot of, Deutsch nurses as well who got into it also, who began also to order from us. So it's just like, everybody actually who realized that this is, this kind of product is something totally different. And then it's something to be introduced to families, friends. So people were really buying, you know, a lot. And that's why we decided, we said, okay, at this point, we think that we're bringing this great news to everybody else in their houses. So we're going to make this as a business. And yeah, so
Great.
it's been good.
Let's keep our thoughts and we will pick up right here. But now we're going to have a little musical break. Liebe Gäste, wir sind gleich wieder zurück. Nun gibt es etwas musikalische Unterhaltung. Bis gleich.
Saw a man just the other day with the saddest look on his face, like he just lost the best friend he ever had. I asked him, what's got you feeling so blue? Is there something I can do for you? He looked back at me, and this is all he could say. Say, send a little love my way. Send it to me right away. 'Cause the world's gone crazy. It's shooting up our babies. What we gonna do? Give a little love today. We need it now, we can't delay. Before it's all over, remember that I told you, give someone some love today. A young boy, barely 14, cut down before he could live his dream. It's just one more story on the news today. Yeah. How many lives must we lose till we learn? Play with fire, gonna get burned. You can run, 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 but there's no hiding place. Send a little love my way. Send it to me right away. 'Cause the world's gone crazy. The shooting of our babies. What we gonna do? Ooh, give a little love today. We need it now, we can't delay. Before it's all over, remember that I told you, give someone some love.
Willkommen zurück. Wir machen auch sofort da weiter, wo wir eben aufgehört haben. Und zwar ging es gerade darum, ja, wie Sie dazu gekommen sind, ja, aus dem Erfolg der Shea Butter ein Geschäft zu machen. Und zwar hat die Krankenhausbelegschaft natürlich mitbekommen, dass die Shea Butter funktioniert und gerade die philippinischen Krankenschwestern haben angefangen oder philippinischen Pflegerinnen haben angefangen, ja, die Shea Butter zu kaufen. Und genau, das Ehepaar Komlanvi hat dann herausgefunden, dass sie die Shea Butter auf die Philippinen schicken. Ja, und dachten sich, okay, vielleicht entsteht da gerade noch ein zweites Business. Warum ziehen wir das alles nicht ein bisschen professioneller auf? Weil anscheinend ist die Nachfrage da. Und genau so ist nach und nach Joavina Organics entstanden. Ihr habt, genau, Joavina, der Name, wofür steht der?
Yeah.
Your daughter, sorry, a little bit confusing. Joavina, the name of your company.
Exactly.
Like your daughter got something to do with that as well.
Yes, because she was the one who brought us to the whole idea. That's why, because her name is Joanna. Her name is Joanna, and then Joanna V. So Joanna V is Joanna, and ihrer is because of Joanna. So the whole Joavina means in our language, in our dialect, aware that because of Joanna.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Exactly. That's the meaning of Joavina.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
of
without
Joanna.
her,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have
we wouldn't have
rediscovered shea butter.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's beautiful.
Exactly.
Genau, der Name Joavina ist quasi nach ihrer Tochter benannt. Ihre Tochter heißt Joanna und Joavina bedeutet wegen Joanna. Sie ist quasi die Inspiration hinter all dem. Your business is not only making an impact when it comes to skin health, but also on the lives of your employees. What is the impact of you manufacturing in Ghana, Togo, Burkina Faso? Why did you choose to produce there?
Well, we decided to do that because we thought that it was just fair to work with these local producers, the local partners that we have back home, because a lot of times the people make good money off these products, and they don't know, first of all, how it is made, how hard work it takes to get it done, and also, unfortunately, the unfair kind of salary, wages that these women receive. So when we got into the business of it, the business side of it, we realized that these women are the ones who are doing this hard work and everything else. Unfortunately, they are not getting the benefits that they deserve from it. So we said we're going to have to cut the middleman. So we're going straight to these women and making sure that they really get what they deserve when it comes to their wages, so that they are able also to support their families, their kids. Because let's don't forget, a lot of the times these women are also farmers. So they also need sufficient funds in order to continue to do that. But our hope is that, as we get into the business, we're doing much, much better, we're getting more money, we are able to sustain the whole area as a cooperative, so that they understand that now we have a sustainable job that is paying us fair wages, so that we can all benefit from it one way or the other.
Yes. Okay, I make a quick recap. I hope I do it right. Genau, also als Sie angefangen haben in den entsprechenden Ländern wie Ghana, Togo und Burkina Faso zu produzieren, haben Sie gesehen, dass gerade in vielen Produktionen, dass es dort Zwischenmänner gibt, die dann natürlich eventuell den Großteil des Geldes einbehalten und nur ein geringer Teil an die Frauen, die eigentlich die Shea Butter herstellen und den Großteil der Arbeit machen, weitergeben. Sprich, bei den Frauen ist immer am wenigsten angekommen. Und Jeannette und Koudzo haben sich dann dafür entschieden, quasi die Mittelmänner oder die Zwischenproduzenten auszulassen und die Frauen direkt zu beschäftigen bzw. direkt zu bezahlen, damit diese letztendlich für die Arbeit, die sie verrichten, entsprechend faire Löhne erhalten. Und wichtig dabei zu erwähnen ist auch noch, dass viele der Frauen auch Farmerinnen sind und genau, Gemüse anbauen, Obst anbauen oder vielleicht auch in der Viehzucht sind und dass sie das durch die Löhne, die sie bei der Shea Butter Produktion erhalten, mitfinanzieren. Genau, und das ist ihnen einfach sehr, sehr wichtig, Frauen zu unterstützen mit fairen Löhnen.
Genau.
But your main market is in Germany, right? I mean, you produce in Africa, but you sell mainly in Germany.
We actually, the number one market is Germany. Then we have Europe as well, where we can sell different countries in Europe. But at this point, we are more concentrated in Germany. So we want to bring this wonderful product to Germany. We know it has already been around, but we found out that it's not out there the way it's supposed to be. And that's one of the jobs that we're trying to do at Joavina Organics, to be able to educate people about it. And that's what we usually do when we get a chance to speak with our customers all around. That's what we try to do. Yes.
And who are your customers? Is it mainly Black people? Because, I mean, our skin needs a lot of nourishment, or is it more white people?
Well, I must say it's for all skin types. It's for everybody. We know, yes, especially women, but also for kids and for men. But we don't exclude anybody because I'm sure as we also have dry skin, others also have dry skin. So shea butter is good for every skin. Yeah.
Okay. Also Ihre Hauptkunden sind sehr, sehr divers und Shea Butter ist für jede Person, denn alle Menschen können trockene Haut haben und Shea Butter hilft da sehr, sehr gut. Let's go back to the roots. Nowadays, the abundance of products, especially in the skincare market, is much greater than 20 years ago, or let it only be 10 years ago. I think there was a very quick development. Jeannette, you grew up in Ghana. So how was your skin situation when you moved to Germany back then?
Yeah, I was very young when I moved to Germany. That was in about the late 90s. I got here, as I mentioned, I was using shea butter back home, but when I got here, obviously I couldn't find shea butter here. And my parents got me just normal perfume kind of cream from Rossmann or the shops here, the drogerie. And then for some reason, well, I loved using it, but I realized I was having a very problematic skin. I was started having a whole lot of rashes, pimples, and my whole face was always kind of reddish and painful. Whenever I washed my face, it was very rough. And I went to several and many dermatologists. They gave me all sorts of creams to use, all sorts of skincare products to try on. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. Anybody that knows me before knows that I had a very problematic skin and was very troublesome. Anything I used wouldn't work out. And that's where I realized that many skincare products were not mainly maybe made for my skin. I had to do a whole lot of research. And when I went to the UK, that's where I got a few answers. I went to a dermatologist who had a bit more knowledge about my skin color, my skin tone, and they told me that not every cream or every skincare product is good for me. I have to be specific and do the main research and see, and maybe go back to what I was using before that was good for my skin. Tried it again and see what will happen. And then that's where I realized that, well, where can I get shea butter now in the 90s? And I couldn't just find it anywhere. I couldn't find it, and I was still trying to use, I think those days, cocoa butter somehow, cocoa butter, but it was not really working out as it's supposed to. And I had a whole really struggle with my skin. I struggled a whole lot with it. Before then, in the late 20s, it started getting a little bit better with a few products they recommended to me in England, which only had about 10% shea butter in it.
Okay.
And still the whole rest was kind of chemicals and other things. And then I realized that my skin just started kind of bleaching a little bit because I was not sure or aware what they mixed. And they mixed kind of creams.
Like skin whitening?
Skin white kind of, exactly.
Okay.
And I realized, oh, what's happening to my skin? Then I had to quickly also switch. And
it's quite a journey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a whole journey to get the right product for my skin. But since I started using and focusing on shea butter again, Yeah, but it was a struggle those days to find the right product for my skin.
Als Jeannette in jungen Jahren nach Deutschland gezogen ist, hat sie erstmal gar nicht großartig über Shea Butter nachgedacht und hatte andere Produkte benutzt, hat dann aber also nach einiger Zeit gemerkt, dass die einfach nicht für ihre Haut funktionieren, vielleicht auch durch die Duftstoffe, und hatte dadurch einfach Hautprobleme, trockene Haut, teilweise auch Ausschläge, und als sie dann später nach Großbritannien gezogen ist, dort hatte sie dann einen Arzt oder einen Dermatologen, und der hatte etwas mehr Ahnung, gerade auch von schwarzer Haut, und hat ihr dann empfohlen, natürlichere Produkte zu benutzen oder andere Produkte zu benutzen, und ihr erklärt, worauf sie bei der Hautpflege oder bei Hautpflegeprodukten achten muss. Und genau, nach entsprechenden Produkten hat sie gesucht, aber in vielen war nur ein sehr geringer Shea-Butter-Anteil. Kakaobutter hat auch nicht so gut funktioniert. Und bei einigen Produkten hat sie auch gemerkt, dass die Haut mit der Zeit etwas heller geworden ist, wo die Vermutung nahe lag, dass dort hautaufhellende Wirkstoffe enthalten waren. Also es war ein sehr, sehr langer Weg dahin, herauszufinden, was für die Haut am besten funktioniert. What do you think, which role diversity played in skincare back in the day in Germany? Did it even play a role? Do you feel like the companies thought about, okay, maybe let's create a product that is for people who tend to have more dry skin? Because I feel like we get ashy, you know what I mean. That they thought about that. What is your experience?
Maybe they had a few, but I'm not sure whether I did not really do my research well to find the right for my skin.
Yeah.
But all I know is that I struggled a whole lot with the finding the right thing, and also the diversity. As I mentioned, it was not made for my skin. Kind of, I had a feeling it was not really made for my skin. But yes, they had a whole lot of products for dry skin, for mixed skin, for kind of a whole lot. They had a whole lot of variety.
But of course, it's not that natural, and it's still a lot of perfume in it. Jeannette hatte das Gefühl, dass Firmen schon darauf geachtet haben, dass es auch Produkte für trockene Haut gibt. Aber dort waren natürlich immer noch sehr, sehr viele Duftstoffe enthalten, die es dann natürlich nicht optimal gemacht haben. We're going to continue right here after a short break. Liebe Gäste, wir sind gleich wieder für Sie zurück und schließen hier wieder an. Ich wünsche Ihnen jetzt viel Spaß bei einer weiteren kleinen musikalischen Pause. Bis gleich.
Nobody knows about tomorrow. We can't go back to yesterday. Right here inside this very moment, I am with you today. Tell me, can you keep a secret if I whisper it into your ear? Maybe I should paint a picture just so I can make it clear that even if the world stopped turning, even if the sun refused to shine, nothing's gonna take away my heaven, 'cause heaven ain't out there, it's here inside. used to know a girl so lonely. Sadness was her closest friend. She'd hide herself away in silence, afraid of letting anybody in. She thought that no one could love her. How could she even love herself? But then one day the door was open, and that's when happy walked on in. And even if the world stopped turning, even if the sun refused to shine, nothing's gonna take away your heaven. 'Cause heaven ain't out there, it's here inside. Even if this world stopped turning, even if the sun refused to shine, nothing's gonna take away your heaven. 'Cause heaven ain't out there, it's here inside.
Herzlich willkommen zurück. Eben gerade haben wir darüber gesprochen, inwiefern früher in Deutschland Diversität eine Rolle gespielt hat. And for you, Koudzo, how was the situation in the US? You grew up there, and what was the difference to Germany? Was skincare also suitable for Black people? Was that more common in the US? Maybe you can give us a little glimpse.
Yes, well, more than 20 years ago, you know, when I was there, I had a similar kind of story like Jeannette. You know, more than 20 years ago, there was not a lot of, you know, different kinds of products that you're going to use. Like I was saying, people migrating to US, and unfortunately, you don't have what is suitable to your skin, and then you try to figure things out. So that's the same kind of story. So it took a while. It took a while, you know, because even at the beginning of shea butter being introduced, for example, in New York City, where I used to live at, it wasn't well perceived, okay, at the beginning. I'm talking about like 20 years ago. But now, as we're speaking, or 10 years ago, it has been introduced more, and then everybody, all customers from diverse backgrounds, if they do not see shea butter in the lotion or anything else, they're not buying it. That's how, you know, tremendous shea butter has become. So you get to understand that as the societies are moving forward, they're understanding that you have to include, you know, other people into the mix of production. And that's what I've seen, and it has been very tremendous. And now we are good. And also today, Joavina Organics with Jeannette, we are also participating in changing the narrative and making sure that we go back to the roots, because it would never fail when we go back to the roots.
Vor 20 Jahren, als Koudzo noch in New York gelebt hat, hatte er ähnliche Probleme, hat er gerade erzählt, wie Jeannette. Es gab nicht so viele Produkte und Shea Butter war noch nicht ja, so bekannt beziehungsweise nicht so weitläufig im Umlauf. Das hatte sich dann aber mit den Jahren geändert und ja, seit 10 Jahren ungefähr ist es gang und gäbe und in sehr, sehr vielen Produkten ist Shea Butter enthalten und genau, ohne dass die Leute es teilweise wissen. Und, aber er merkt einfach, dass, wie sich die Gesellschaft im Laufe der Zeit verändert, so verändert sich auch die Benutzung von Shea Butter und sie gewinnt an mehr Beliebtheit und genau, die Bekanntheit wird gesteigert und das Wissen um Shea Butter genauso. Do you think that maybe through recent events that the skincare market changed as well? For example, through Black Lives Matter, I feel like that the eyes were more on black topics, if you will, and maybe skincare companies look more in the direction of people of color. What can we do for them? How do you perceive that?
Well, I think you are right on. As we can even see in the fashion industry today, and if you see the advertisements, you know, around Hamburg, for example, you will see the diversity of people who are actually modeling or anything like that when it comes to fashion and cosmetics, of course, that things have been changing so rapidly because people understand more now, like you have to include everybody. And not only you including everybody, but you know, as a business, also you're making money off everybody actually. So it's so important that we all understand that the inclusion of all of us together only can make our societies, our communities, better communities as we want them to be.
Oh, you said that very beautiful. That's very nice. Koudzo hat gerade erzählt, dass Black Lives Matter sicherlich auch ein Augenmerk bei der Skincare-Industrie darauf gelegt hat, hey, da ist noch eine andere Zielgruppe, gerade People of Color, die vielleicht andere Hautbedürfnisse haben, auf die wir ein Augenmerk legen müssen. Und dass Firmen einfach viel inklusiver werden und andere Menschen mit einbeziehen und deren Bedürfnisse. Und dass sie eher das große Ganze sehen als nur eine kleine demografische Gruppe, um es einmal ganz kurz zu fassen. Shea butter solved your daughter's skincare problems, and I mean it's like an old African remedy, if you will. Why do you think people sometimes forget about the old traditional remedies or things our ancestors or our parents used back in the day? Do you think it might as well have something to do with that some people think, okay, let's look over to Europe, how are they doing things that we don't appreciate our own?
Yeah, it's a good question because I remember Koudzo told me because he went to the community workers who were doing the shea butter, and one elderly man was part of the group who told us that, my son, do you know this product has been used those days to treat people's skin issues, but we, the youth these days, don't appreciate it anymore. We don't use it anymore that much. And he was then telling him a whole lot of stories about it, how he helped people, how he healed so many skin issues. And me growing up those days, it was just there and they told me to use it. But I had no idea what it does. Nobody really told me what it really does. So,
so maybe it would have been important to transfer the knowledge?
Exactly. So I think that's where the problem was, transferring the knowledge and telling us exactly what it does instead of just using it. That's where the problem kind of lies, because if they would have taught us what it was, we would have appreciated it more and used it the right way. And that's unfortunately how we lost the awareness of how good the butter is.
Genau, die Frage war, ob es vielleicht sein kann, dass man die Dinge, die einem die Vorfahren oder die eigenen Eltern mitgegeben haben, ja, vergisst, weil man sie vielleicht nicht zu schätzen weiß oder glaubt, dass beispielsweise, wenn man nach Europa blickt, die Produkte von dort besser sind und man einfach nicht weiter drüber nachdenkt. Und Jeannette hat darauf geantwortet und von einer Begegnung erzählt, die sie und ihr Mann mit einem älteren Mann hatten, der ihnen erzählt hat: Wisst ihr eigentlich, wofür Shea-Butter früher benutzt wurde? Sie wurde dafür benutzt, um Hautkrankheiten, Hautleiden zu heilen, zu lindern. Und dieser ältere Mann fand es sehr, sehr schade, dass gerade die jüngere Generation gar nicht mehr um die Wirkung von Shea-Butter und anderen traditionellen Heilmitteln wusste. Und Jeannette ist dann nochmal darauf eingegangen, dass es vielleicht auch daran liegen kann, dass quasi der Wissenstransfer fehlt. Sie als Kind, sie hat Shea-Butter einfach benutzt, ihre Eltern, ihre Großeltern haben Shea-Butter einfach benutzt, aber ihr wurde nie gesagt, ja, welche heilenden Eigenschaften oder welche anderen Vorteile Shea-Butter hat. Und dass man das dadurch die Wichtigkeit verkennt, weil man sich ihrer gar nicht bewusst ist und deswegen der Wissenstransfer sehr, sehr wichtig ist. Genau. And obviously your skincare business is quite successful, but I'm sure you also experienced some challenges. Yeah, what did you experience on your exciting journey?
Well, you know, as a business, you always encounter challenges. At the beginning, you have more, and then still, if you're moving on, you're still having challenges. And one of those challenges, of course, is to make sure that we having, as our product are being sold in Germany and Europe, we have to keep a certain standard. So that's one thing that we had to talk with our local partners with, and also teach them some of these things that you know, are norms that, you know, are required so that we can sell these products here in Germany, for example. So those are the kinds of things that you see, you know, and then as a business person, you want to be able to solve these kinds of problems. And of course, you have other problems. For example, we started our business, and then, you know, in the coronavirus, you know, era. So that means, you know, there are less people who have money to buy products because this is not a priority for them anymore. So that's one thing. The other thing is we're talking about transports, you know, because now you transiting your product from Africa, from West Africa, Togo, Ghana, or Burkina Faso, and then you buy your packaging, either if it's in Germany or China, for example, then you transiting them. It was, you know, a lot of, you know, the prices went up, like sometimes even doubled. So as a business, you just have to be able to look into those things. So you ask yourself the question to know, am I in the business in the right time? Should I pull out? Should I stay the course? So, but of course we, you know, as, you know, Jeannette, we make some good decisions, and then we said to ourselves, look, we're not just doing it, of course, as a business, you're doing it to make profit so you can continue to expand your business. But at the same time, one of the main ideas was to bring this product, you know, this knowledge that we had through our daughter's experience. We want to put it out there so that everybody can enjoy, you know, on this product as well. So that's one thing that keeps us going, and then here we are today.
One main challenge was also staying up late nights and working and doing a whole lot of research and working on the whole business plan and all that. So as an entrepreneur, I'm sure everybody or all entrepreneurs go through. staying up very late and doing a whole lot of work.
And social media, not to cut
yes.
her. You know, Jeannette is the social media person, and she's doing tremendous, work when it comes to that. And it's a whole lot of work by a lot of people who are not into it, do not understand that, you have to stay up very late. Making this post, and because at the end of the day you're posting the wrong thing. By the time you wake up in the morning, people are sending you messages back, so you have to be very careful about what you're putting out there as a business. So those are things that as a business you really have to keep teamwork. Okay, teamwork, working together with our local partners. We also have distributors in Germany. Here, La Tribu Noire, we have Italian, organic shops,
yes.
and others as well. Then we're also selling online. So you have all these kinds of, of...
You have to take care of.
You have to take care of,
Okay.
yes. So.
Ja. So, also es gab sehr, sehr viele Herausforderungen, gerade während der Pandemie natürlich auch. Gerade Produkte zu verschicken war sehr, sehr teuer. Aber sie haben es dennoch durch die Pandemie geschafft. Das war nämlich gerade am Anfang ihrer Gründungszeit, also direkt am Anfang eine sehr, sehr große Herausforderung. Aber auch gerade die Qualitätsstandards. Gerade in Deutschland herrschen bestimmte Ansprüche. Jede Shea-Butter muss genauso aussehen wie die andere und genauso riechen wie die andere. Und das waren Herausforderungen, das in den Produktionsländern durchzusetzen und anzubringen und erfolgreich zu vermitteln. Und auch andere Businessbereiche wie Social Media zu pflegen, dass man das lernt. Also es war ein großes Learning und eine sehr, sehr aufregende Zeit. We are slowly coming to an end now, unfortunately. I would love to keep on talking with you because it's so interesting. But I got one more question for you. Why is it important, in your words, to sometimes go back to the roots, to our roots actually, when we are looking for solutions?
Well, I mean, going back to the roots is very important to all of us. There is a saying in one proverb in Africa that says that if you don't know where you're going, know where you came from, which is very important. So that means anytime that you encounter issues, problems, like in our cases, when Jeannette was here in Germany, when I was in New York, and then we encountered these problems, skin, issues, not knowing the kind of lotion that we have to use, then, you go back and then you think about, okay, what was I doing right before? And then it was working. So can I just go back to it so that it can give me a leeway to make sure that I'm finding solutions to this? So going back to the roots, it's so important. I don't even know how to interpret that, but you definitely have to always go back to the root and making sure that you get, because you always get all the resources from there. Yes.
Wow, beautiful words. As a lot in this in this show. Thanks a lot for you guys for coming here. It was a pleasure. And Koudzo hat am Ende nochmal gesagt, dass es sehr, sehr wichtig ist, zu den Wurzeln zurückzugehen, da dort oft die Lösung ist. Und er hat nochmal ein afrikanisches Sprichwort genannt. Ich hoffe, ich übersetze es richtig. Weiß, wo du hingehst, aber weiß auch, wo du herkommst. Und mit diesen Worten möchte ich mich heute verabschieden. Liebe Zuschauende, vielen, vielen Dank, dass Sie auch heute wieder eingeschaltet haben und bis zum nächsten Mal.